Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, that is so loud. Let me turn that down. Okay. I think we're doing good now. Just some things. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing on this glorious... Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. Friday afternoon, evening, wherever it is. Am I... Yeah, I probably need to get a new mic. Actually, let's see here. If I turn it. Is that gonna work? Are we good? Yeah. Mic levels are good. Alrighty. Yeah, sorry that took so long. We had some technical difficulties, and then when I tried to hit live, I was going live. And so, funny story. I was sending the video data to YouTube because I had this whole event thing set up, and I'm used to Twitch where as soon as I hit live, I'm streaming and all that stuff. Apparently YouTube, and I just learned this, has a go live button where you'll send the feed to YouTube, and then YouTube will say, all right, we're getting the feed, we're getting a strong connection. And that entire time I was like, okay, cool, I'm streaming. It still says people are watching. I looked at it and thought that viewers waiting was viewers watching. And yeah, that was, turns out there's a separate go live button on YouTube. So it's just one of those safeguards to prevent you from accidentally going live when you didn't want to. So, great feature by YouTube. I did not realize that was there, and so I ended up being an additional 15 minutes late. You see that's the thing about doing stuff live. It's interesting. You can definitely a lot of different challenges when it comes to doing stuff live rather than just doing things not live, I guess. Yeah, and it's a whole different skill set. Rather than here's the way that I describe it. So doing stuff live is way different than, let's say, making a video, in my experience with content creation. Because if you do things live, it's all right, it's almost like, well, it is producing a live show. You gotta make sure everything's going, and sometimes things go wrong, and when you think you know how something works and you don't, and you realize that, and you're like, uh-oh. But hey, you know what? It's a learning experience. I'm here to code, so let's go and do that. And by the way, this playlist is not Rockstar, but the Riot Games Creator Safe playlist, which I just found. Thank you so much to Riot Games for making this available to creators, because that makes my job so much easier, because you will not... It can be extremely hard to find, I guess, stream safe music to play, especially something that you can set it and forget it. That's the thing that I've noticed when streaming. The more you can set it and forget it, the less you have to do. So let's say if you're running a stream and you need to swap every time the song ends, you need to go to another one. That can take your focus away from other stream things. In my sense, it's coding. That's the great things I really like about game streaming. Is a lot of game streaming, for me, and the way I do it, it's a lot of set it and forget it. It's everything's set up. I don't need to change. I don't really need to focus much on doing the producer side of it. Whereas something like this, okay, I had to set multiple overlays. Well, not multiple overlays. I'd set multiple scenes and make sure that, okay, it's not I'd set multiple windows, get those positioned, make sure they're in the right space. Whereas with game streaming, most of the time it's choose the game I want to stream, set that as the default. That's what you're going to stream. You're never going to stop looking at that, because I'm never going to leave the game. Whereas, and of course, put the overlay. I've got my chat and any other cooler effects. Whereas doing something like this is a lot different, where I need multiple windows. because I need my coding, I need my debugging stuff, and essentially what I'm looking at, because yes, during the stream, I am going to be looking stuff up, and so I've got my own little overlay, and, you know, not really overlay, but scene. That's what I call it. The scene is the thing that gets streamed and that you push to. The overlay is the graphics on top. Yeah, that's how that works. So, anyway, it's great to be here. This is my, I guess, first stream in a while, actually, which is crazy. I haven't really done it. But yeah, let's jump right into the coding. As we can see that Medley's in the chat. Medley, by the way, I did their, just want to shout out Medley here real quick. I actually did a cohort. What was it? I forget what it was called. Actually, let me just look it up. I can just look on my LinkedIn. Let's look this up. It was the Global Summer Challenge. Yeah, that was actually, that was a cool little thing I did with Medley. It was, met some cool people, and honestly, I enjoyed it. It was definitely a good experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Alrighty, so let's actually, you know, let me just get into the code. I'm now just talking. Okay, let's, hopefully this works. Hey, okay, it worked. Actually, without any, oh, that's because I set it up. Alright, let's get this stuff started. Alright, so real quick, today we're gonna be actually starting and working on a Expo app using React Native. So React Native, I'm gonna look this up before I say anything, because I think it's a framework. Pretty sure. Actually, let me just look up. Is React Native framework? Okay, yes. So React Native is a is a framework. See, that's the thing. I like to look stuff up before I say something. So yeah, we're gonna be using React Native. One of the reasons why we're using React Native to build an app is because I can have one code base and I can use it for both Android and Apple devices. So it's great. Also, I'm a bit of a React connoisseur. I really like React. It's funny. One of my friends that works as a software developer. I'll always say, like, he's a back-end developer, whereas I'm more front-end oriented. He does not like React. He's like, oh, React's scary, but he does a lot of the server-side stuff. Whereas, you know, I'm a big front-end guy. I really like that. More or less, I really like the whole front-end functionality of things. So yeah, that's kind of my shtick. And so I immediately fell in love with React. I actually tried to learn, well, not tried, but I've started dabbling into Next.js, which has been interesting to say the least. I actually built my last portfolio website using only Next.js. Now, the cool thing about Next.js that I personally like is that it's not necessarily something about Next.js. It's that I've found a lot of very easy to, I guess, implement components. So let's say I want a really cool bounding box. Actually, no, I can just pull it up. So there's this website called Acernity, if I can spell it right. Acernity. So Acernity UI. So this, when I was creating my website, what was it? My portfolio website. Yeah, when I was creating my portfolio website, I used this so much, and it's great. And it's one of those things where it's just all plug and play. So if you go to components, you see you've got just, you know, background with collision. It's very much drag and drop. So you've got, you know, install, go to code, and there's all the code just right there. Just put it in. And you've got the manual installation, which is also great. So you've got all that. So it's very, very, very easy. And then of course there's a CLI installation, which so in my experience, I've only ever done the manual installation. I haven't tried installing it with the CLI. You know what? I might do that. I might try that out, but I'm not using Next.js right now. So anyway, let's get back to what I was initially wanting to do, which is actually create a project. So we're in that. Okay. The last time I created an Expo app was when I made the fart button. So I need to, that's not what I wanted. I need to go, I need to look at the Expo docs. Documentation. Oh wait, no, I want creating your first quick start. APX. This just. Okay, I don't want the. Is it really that easy? This is some good documentation. All right, that. Okay, so we're gonna go copy that over here. Or hit enter. Is it okay to proceed? Need to install the following packages. Create Expo app. Yes. Okay, app name. What is our app name? I don't really have a name for this project, so we're gonna put Mythic. Project files, and now we're building. PM install. Now we go. Alrighty. So one of the things I'm thinking about with this app is I was kind of thinking about building a sort of, I guess, Pokemon-esque battler type slash, what was it? Pokemon battler slash idle game-esque. That's sort of where I'm leaning. Not one, it sounds, well, there are a couple reasons why this is what I'm going to build. First reason is, I'm just going to straight up say it. I think that I can get quite a bit of streams out of trying to build this thing. That's the first thing. Second, it sounds like a cool project. And third, it doesn't seem too in-depth to where I'd have to go in and really like read documentation. And definitely, it seems like something with my current knowledge of programming that I can do relatively easily. Because I'm trying to think about how I would do it. The UI shouldn't be too hard. Doing the whole battling and all that stuff. The one thing I'm gonna need to do is how I'm gonna handle objects. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna have either an array of some sort, and then have that so I'll start out with an array and have that hold objects, and those objects will be quote unquote the monsters that the person has, and that, like, the monsters that they have that they use to battle will be objects in the array. And then I can change how, and then again, and then when the user gets another monster, I can change that. And then let's say when trying to think. So let me go over this in my mind. Okay, so you've got the array. So got the array. We'll call it monsters. Within the array, you have the starter. So starter, that is a level, that is a health, that is a current XP. When I open up the screen, because I don't want to. What I don't want to do is because if this is going to be an idle game, essentially every tick, I'm going to be updating how much XP that has. how much XP the monster has. So I pull that data out, set it to a temporary variable, and then I take that variable and then continually update that variable, and then if there's a level up or when I switch screens, that current variable is then taken and then saved to the array that is essentially the game data. Which I think actually, this is where I wish I had a whiteboard. Okay, like I do have a whiteboard, but y'all can't see it. And so that's what I'm pseudo thinking about doing in terms of how things are going to work. Don't really know if that's how I want to do it, but it'll definitely be a let's see. But anyway, okay. You know, first things first. Okay, I'm gonna go in the README. Okay, because I'm right now thinking a little bit outside the box. Also, I should probably go and make sure that. Okay, so 38 files changed. So initial, actually, I can go to source control here. Okay, we're gonna do commit. All right, so that's okay. So it looks like the git ignore got created. So I'm not pushing out more than I need. So that's good. So we're gonna do our commit message of initial project creation commit. I don't have any. I might need to stage all my changes first. How do I? Okay, stage all changes. Okay, the changes are staged. Now we're gonna do commit. Now it's committed to main, and then we're gonna sync changes. It's actually I do want to pull all my stuff. All right, and so those are gonna sync. We'll see how long that takes. Sometimes it's very fast. Sometimes it's not. Oh well. Okay, apparently it was instant. Never mind. Let's say normal. That's the thing. Sometimes with the built-in source control with Visual Studio Code, I've had times where it's been really easy, and then I've had times where it's taken a long time, and it's caused me issues and headaches. In that case, I just go to GitHub stuff. I just go to GitHub's what was it? The GitHub desktop one. Which I like using that too. Actually, wait, can I? More actions. Can I create another branch? I should probably create another branch because, all right, well, first off, I'm going to test this thing. Just to make sure I actually have can actually get it running. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna launch a build. Let's see. npm start. That. Okay, so creating and launching. Launch development build. Okay. You know, actually, I'm gonna go to So let's go to Expo, create your first app. There we go. Okay. That. Okay, so we actually didn't do that. Okay, so we rely from scratch understand file-based navigation. Okay. So I haven't actually. Okay, here we go. This is actually what I wanted to do. Okay. So we created the app. It's right here. Downloading assets. We don't really need that. Run reset project. So I want to build my app from scratch. So we're going to do cd npm. We're going to do npm reset project. Oh, I forgot run. Whoops. Okay, that should. Do you want to remove it? Yes. Okay. So that reset the project, which. Okay. So that changed a lot. Okay. So now we're gonna go. We're gonna ran the reset project and to start with a clean slate. That's not how you spell slate. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay. Do that. All right, we're going good. We are doing well. It's actually, so it looks like it actually did take out a lot of the folders, which, I mean, we're resetting a project. That's probably what we wanted to do. Anyway, we're gonna commit these changes. Sync. We're gonna okay. And then we're gonna test it. We're gonna make sure that run all the commands. We have a baseline. Once I know that I can, access the web and I see, okay, we have an app running, it's up. We're gonna take that, we're gonna keep that on the main branch, and we're gonna say, okay, this is, basically, like, this is square one. Like, if anything gets messed up, this is, this is basically the stuff we know that works. In fact, I'm probably gonna even try to send a build to my phone and try to make a development build just to make sure that, okay, we have a build, it is on my device, it is working. That is our point. We have a build. Yes, there's nothing in the build, but it's a build, it can run on a device. That's our main branch. Then we're going to fork over to a development branch, which is, yeah. Then we'll do all of our live development, all that stuff on there, so that we'll always have a point to return to, which is a blank slate project for now. Okay, so what am I going to do next? So I've got that. Let's see here. Everything's up, so that's good. After running both commands, the app directory to produce files. Right, run the app on mobile and web. Okay, so now we're going to do npx Expo. Okay, starting project. React, starting mentor bundler. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Here using Expo Go. Wait, hey. Using an Android. Oh, Android 10. Okay. Let's do. Okay, so we're trying it on the web. Let's see what's okay, bundled. All right, we got it, team. All right, now we're just going to. Okay, so that's going. Now, oh, I just press S. I can just switch to development build. Let's go ahead and do that. S. Okay, so now let's. It's a development build unable to serve default URI scheme. Okay, so now let's go and get on my phone. I should probably be connected to the Wi-Fi because that's how this works, because I need to be connected to the Wi-Fi in order for this to work. Okay. Now we're gonna go and scan that QR code. I, for some reason, took a picture. Don't know why that's not working. Okay. I don't know why it's not working. I'd say it should be. Okay, apparently it can't be reached. I think is it because I need the, wait, I think I need the Expo Go app. All right, let me download that. Expo Go. Okay. Yep, I definitely need the Expo Go app. Awesome. Let's just go over here. Let's say, okay. I love how on YouTube it says that I'm at 37 minutes 42 seconds out of an hour and 37 minutes. Huh. All right then. That's always fun. Okay, so we've got that. I know it's because I don't. Oh. Okay, watch it's gonna be because I don't have the Expo Go app. I'm 100% because I don't have the Expo Go app. Install. I love, I guess, getting back into this and I guess relearning how all this stuff's done. You think you know, but then you come back to it after. Actually, how many months has it been since I made the start button app? Figure it. Okay, development service. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this should work. Okay, it's still not working. We need to log in. Okay, I need to figure more stuff out. Okay, so well, we're gonna figure that out later. For now, I'm going to go and because I've got it working. Don't know how to get it working on my phone. I feel like there's something I'm definitely missing, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Instead, I'm going to actually, can I do this through the IDE? Yes, that's a graph. Branch. Great branch. We're gonna call this. All right, develop. Development. Okay. I'm gonna publish that branch. Okay, so now we've got origin development and origin main. Okay, cool. Now we should be able to get things going. Cool. Okay, so that's you. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, we need a couple of things. First thing we need is actually I'm gonna add the README. So we're gonna go to our do have actually app overview a and Android Did I spell Royd? Did I spell Android? I have no idea how to spell Android. Let's see here. How do I spell it? Okay. An Android mobile style Pokemon Monster Battler game with idle game mechanics. Dope. Okay. So, on our so we've got our development checklist, right? Let's see here. So screens, well, obviously, so screen. So I'm trying to think what screens am I gonna need? Well, first off, I'm gonna need a home screen. Well, what else am I gonna need? I'm gonna need a battling screen. So I got the home screen and the battle screen. I mean, I'm probably gonna need a screen to look at your different monsters, so, or like well, okay. Let's put me on home screen. Let's. How do I want to do it? So he's got the home screen. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for that. Because I want the Pokemon. So it's going to be on the home screen. So I'm thinking I want it to be an idle game. But then you do Pokemon style battles. Let's see here. Trying to think. Trying to think how I want to do this part. My brain is so. Here's what I'm thinking. Like you've got a screen, and then maybe you have a thing that you press, because I want it to have like idle game mechanics. So you've got the idle game, and then you've got the Pokemon Battler part. So, okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. So focus. Well, right now I'm going to focus on the home screen. What I want for that. So let's do. Let's see here. Not what I wanted. Okay, that's what I wanted. I don't really care about that. I just need to see the code. And that's not helping me see the code. Can I just not have that part? 'Cause I just want to see the code, my guy. Okay, I can't. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Let's see. So not. Okay, I need to. See the code a little bit more. Okay, so text view. Here. It's a function, home screen. Okay, so we go to okay. Sorry, my brain was all right. That index.txs. Okay, so we got the view. Do on screen. Save area view. Like that. And can I just put it's not gonna work, is it? Nope. Nope. That's not gonna work like that. Okay, you know what? Let's do okay. Now what are we gonna do? So we need 3 sections. So let's see if I can go to my other. Okay, so we've got user select. Where is that? This is what I was looking for. I think this is what I had. Is it what I had? Yeah, this might be. This might be the one I'm looking for. If I review, oh, so flex 100. Okay, so I'm gonna set up the different areas. And why isn't it? Hello? Okay. I have no idea if this is working. Like, at all. Any day now. Open. Okay, there we go. So that is working. So it's got the... So it's got that. So save area view. So I'm gonna do... because what I want to do is I want to set it. First off, I want to separate my screen into the 3 areas. So you've got the top area, and then the middle area, which is where which is where you would have the I guess the thing you click on to do the idols. And yeah. Okay. My brain is thinking a little bit. Okay, so the idle game. So here's what. Okay. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is I want to build. And so I think I've got a good idea. So go back to our dock screens. So home screen. So it's gonna be where the screen which actually I'm trying to figure out what it is I actually want to build. So I'm taking inspiration from a game called Void Pets, which actually I'm actually just gonna go ahead and download that game so I know exactly what it is that I want to build. So we're gonna go to Void Pet Dungeon. Let's do install. Just go ahead and install that. And we'll play that for a little bit to essentially use that as a guide of what we want to do. So, yeah. We have a plan. Hopefully. What do you mean, please keep keyframe? Does that mean sent off the message as buffering? Huh? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna reset that. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. We do, okay, I need to go back. I've got so many windows. Okay. Because right now I'm sort of designing out what it is that I kind of want to build. Some mechanics. So let's see here. User clicks on the, I guess, monster. Yeah, let's go that. Monster. To increase its. Wait, no. Okay, so. Do I want to have it where it clicks on the monster? Or. Because essentially, okay. So. Actually, what is. So, what is the idle game? So, the idle game, I'm thinking, for this application, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the. Okay. So, okay. Do app features. Okay, so the idle. See here. Okay, so the idle game portion of the app will be the user the train. That's not how you spell trains. Trains, monsters, and fighting battles. Okay, we're okay. So here's what I'm thinking. It took us a while because I essentially said I'm gonna build an app. I don't know what I'm gonna build, but we're getting there. So what I'm thinking is that the idle game of the portion is where the user is going to train their, I guess, their monsters, and then go and take them and fight in battles, which they then get rewards for that they can use to then. Okay, I need to rethink this. As a user, I boot up the app and I get put into the idle game part of it. I can then play the idle game to then train my monsters to then go fight in battles to get rewards. That sound right? Are we? Is that okay? I think. So I don't get them fighting battles. Okay. This. Yeah. So we're gonna go the Okay, user will then use those monsters to fight in battles. Fight in battles against other monsters to gain rewards. Okay, so I wrote all this stuff down because if I don't write it down, then I'm going to forget, and then I'll come back and be like, what was the app that I was building? And yeah. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so navigating from the application. I'm actually going to push all that stuff up so that I know I'm just pushing documentation, but it's important. Okay, documentation update. It. Some changes. Okay. And that should. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. And the question is, all right, so now that I have a sort of idea of what I want to do, now I can expand on that. So how is it that, I guess, how is this going to work? Okay, so I'm thinking, go in, I'm thinking about this from the perspective of the user. All right, go in, you select a monster. All right, select that monster. That's then the monster you're training. And then you attack this sort of like, I guess, training dummy. So you attack a training dummy. And then that training dummy then has health. All right. The damage. All right. Whenever that training dummy dies, your monster gets XP. Does that sound? Okay. So, okay. I like that. Oh, I just broke my chair. Oh, my chair was already broken. Okay, so let's update the documentation with that. All right, so just need to get that. So user train here. Title. Title. Game. User On training dummy in the center of the screen to deal damage once the health of the training dummy reaches 0. See here. Once the into effective monster. Okay. Features. Okay. I'm gonna do what? See here. Monsters have. Okay. Something because I'm trying to organize the documentation. So development documentation. So app features. So that's just gonna be like the overall features I'm thinking. And then with the screens, the different home screens and stuff, that's gonna be like, okay, what mechanics? So like app features, it's like, okay, you're playing the app. What does it do? Whereas home screen and the mechanics on there is like, okay, what specific mechanics need to be on this screen? So that's that's my working brain trying to figure out how I want to write this documentation. At least that's how I'm looking at it. So yeah, so that definitely seems like what's gonna do. It's funny, I haven't actually done any real coding yet because I've just been writing documentation. Try to figure out how I actually want to make this app. So yay. That's the thing that I've noticed, especially if you're working on something. Yeah, documentation. So yay. Okay. Over time. Each time so how do I want to do it? I think I'm going to do it to where, so each time, because this happens in a lot of games, really. So every time the monster levels up, it's going to take more XP the next time. So monster levels up. So let's say it starts at 100. Okay. So I need 100 XP to get from level 1 to level 2. It will then have a modifier, which let's say the modifier is 20%. So essentially every time you level up, it will require 20% more XP for the next level up. So start out at 100 XP need for level 2. All right. 120, or yeah, 20%. Okay, my brain. So that modifier, so the total modifier, if you wanted to have a 20% increase, you needed times the original XP by 1.2. So that would mean that from level 2 to 3, it would need to have, essentially, it would need to get 120 XP. I need to get out my calculator. So one. Okay, so then it'd be 144. Okay, so then from two to 3, it'd be 144. Okay, we got it. Although, to be fair, not gonna lie, that sounds kind of low, but it just I am currently brainstorming mechanics and how all of this is gonna work. So we've got each time the monster actually, now I should probably explain that. In order to level up the monster must start through experience points every time the monster. I'm gonna be real. I really need to come up with a what was it? With a thing that's other than monsters. Maybe summons. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'm right now working on like figuring out, okay, what is it that I'm building? And trying to get into specifics so I can actually like do the programming. So every time the monster levels up, every time the monster levels up, the experience points required for the next level increases. Okay. Right. Increases and their current experience is set to 0. Okay. So here's the thing. So monsters that the user has have stats. That's states, not stats. That increase incrementally over time. Every time they level up, in order to level up, the monster must accrue experience points. Once they accrue a certain level of experience points, they will level up. Every time the monster levels up, the experience points required for the next level increases. By certain by a constant percentage. Yeah, by a constant percentage. All right, there we go. See, by a constant percentage, and their current experience is set to 0. Cool. So we got that fully explained and thought out methodically. Okay. So we're gonna do. You know, I'm gonna push these changes. I know these are just changes to the documentation, but they're still important. So. Okay, documentation update. Some changes. Okay. Okay, cool. I think that about covers everything. Cool. All right, that's what we're gonna do. All right. So now what? Now here's what I'm wondering. Okay. So what is the actual, I guess, training going to consist of? Well, the actual training. Also, it's getting hot in my room, so I need to turn on a fan. I don't know if y'all can hear that in the background. We just. Okay, yeah, y'all can definitely hear that. So I'm just not gonna have it on. Okay. So we have a good starting point. But I have been live for about an hour. I do have a lot of stuff I have to get done today. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been an interesting first stream to try and, I guess, figure things out and really look at what it is and how I was going to approach building this app. But I think I've got a good start. So thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to see where this goes, and keep on dev.